Hello, this is Devina Joshi, and in this module we focus on work ethics and corporate etiquette. So what is work ethic? What is the definition of work ethic? So it is an ability to maintain proper moral values within the workplace. It is an attitude that shapes the way an individual performs his or her duties with high moral standards. So one might ask then that what is a good example of a good work ethic? An employee with good work ethic will follow or develop daily tasks. So he or she will organize their day into blocks. So the first 2 hours of the day will be devoted to making customer calls or new accounts. The next 2 hours will be spent in sales calls. The afternoon probably would be set aside to work on new proposals and do administrative work, whatever administrative work that is required. This ensures that the desk is clear by the time he or she leaves office. So employees with such kind of traits get more work done. So the next question that comes to mind is then, is work ethic a skill? Good work ethic is a positive soft skill that employees across industries and all levels should work to continually develop. I would like to say that an important aspect of work ethic is having self-confidence or self-esteem. Many people believe that it is impossible to teach or train someone or help someone build their self-confidence outside of therapy and medication. But I am going to suggest to you 3 ways in which you can make yourself successful and feel accepted at your workplace. The first is preparation. The key is to be ready and smart for anything that is thrown at you at your workplace. For this, you need to prepare yourselves by reading about, talking to other people, or even role-playing different workplace scenarios. So this way, you are ready and you are prepared to respond to a task that you don't like or some kind of criticism that is given to you. The second is make the most of mistakes. Now to err is human, we all make mistakes. But the key is not to feel guilty about it. Instead, make every mistake a learning opportunity. For this, you can take advice from others or you can accept suggestions. Third is to share skills. So it could be that you lack in a particular skill. So be open to learn that skill from another person. Alternatively, if you are very good at a particular skill, then teach or train someone in it. In this way, you will be valued and appreciated at your workplace, and this will give your self-confidence a great boost. Gaining self-confidence is not going to happen overnight, but a lot of behaviors need to change or be encouraged, and then you will reach there. So expect to enjoy your work more and of course make I would say increase your marketability by having a good work ethic, developing a good work ethic and your self-confidence so that you can advance in your career. So now let us discuss that what are the top 8 work ethics that you need to develop. So the first is reliability. Reliable individuals will always be on time for their work shifts and for meetings. They ensure that they meet deadlines and do quality work. The second work ethic to develop is that of dedication. Dedicated employees will focus on their work without any distractions. So the distractions can be in the form of, constantly talking with colleagues, or taking personal calls, or surfing the net while at work. They avoid doing all this, and these employees will always work until they finish their duties. And I must add here that such employees generally stay with a company for a longer period of time, one particular company for a longer period of time. The third work ethic you need to develop is that of discipline. So highly disciplined individuals show determination and commitment to their jobs, and they strive to meet and exceed expectations. They are always seeking chances to improve their skills and thus improve their performance. Next is productivity. Productive individuals obviously have higher outputs than their fellow workers. They meet their project deadlines, and they always work more than the required minimum. And that is, of course, on their own. They don't need to be pushed to do more than the required minimum. Next is cooperation. Cooperative employees will always do good teamwork, and such employees are always willing to help others whenever they need. Integrity is another work ethic that you must develop. Integrity means holding yourself to high moral principles. So such people are generally very honest, polite, and fair to others. You have to be, of course, responsible too. So responsibility is another work ethic that you need to develop. Responsible individuals always, are accountable for their actions. They take the blame for the mistakes that they make. They don't shy away from taking the blame, and they make sure that they fix those mistakes. And the last but not the least, professionalism. So individuals who are professional will display it in the way that they speak, the way that they dress, and the way that they carry themselves or conduct themselves. And professional individuals are generally very respectful, they are organized, they are very focused and neat. So then the question, again here you might ask me, is that what is the need to have good work ethics? So as an individual, if you have good work ethics, then it shows the strength of your character, and it also shows you as an all-round positive person. Now obviously both of these would be to your advantage at your workplace. If your co-workers and your superiors look upon you favorably or look at you favorably, then your chances of advancing in your career are much better. Now you might ask that then why is it that organizations look for employees with good work ethic? Well, organizations want employees with solid work ethics because to reach their goal and vision. Now here I would like to point out that there is a difference between personal ethics and professional ethics. So personal ethics refers to an individual's beliefs about what is right and what is wrong. And probably these guide the individual to take decisions in whatever area of their lives. And professional ethics refers to the person's values in the workplace. To understand this difference, let's take an example. So if a person decides to return a wallet that he has found on the ground to lost and property without keeping the wallet for himself or herself, then it is because they have the personal ethic of honesty. If the same person decides to return the wallet to a co-worker, it is because there is a code of conduct of no stealing in his organization. So this is the difference between personal and professional ethics. So you might ask me now, how do I develop, or developing is one thing. Of course, you've developed these work ethics, you will develop them. Probably you have some of these work ethics already. But then how do you improve upon those work ethics? So well, there are 4 ways to do it. One is to act as an ambassador of your company. So always remember to maintain a professional attitude in your personal as well as your professional interactions. Make sure that you use ways and means to further the business of your organization, even if it is outside the scope of your job. For example, a finance professional may pass along a lead to a sales representative, a potential lead to a sales representative. So that way you are trying to improve the company's business. The second way that you can improve your work ethics is to prioritize your professional responsibilities. So being, for example, making sure that you reach office on time, you reach meetings in time, I wouldn't say on time, you reach for meetings in time, you promptly return from your breaks, lunch breaks or any coffee breaks, and you don't take personal calls. So all these things come under that prioritization. The third way is to seek professional development independently. So what does that mean? So the company, of course, your company, your organization will organize necessary training for you as and when required. But personally, you as an individual need to improve yourself either by taking classes, I would say, attending weekend seminars, or reading industry related publications, and constantly updating and upgrading yourself. And last but not the least, there is always review your work, very, very important. So before you submit anything, make sure that you run through it and see and ensure that it works on two levels. One is that there is quality, and second, there is consistency. Manage your time well so that you can do whatever is thrown at you. So if we've seen what are good work ethics, obviously, like every coin has two sides, there are bad work ethics too. So let us have a look at what are bad work ethics. 1. Abusing privileges. 2. Inappropriate use of computer time. 3. Not having an organized game plan. 4. Having a negative attitude. 5. Neglecting your appearance and overall health. 6. Saying inappropriate things. 7. Partying too hard. 8. Not being coachable. 9. Illegal practices. 10. Make the difference. 11. Falsifying information. 12. Ignoring procedures and policies. And last but not the least, making decisions for your own personal gain. So we have here with us Mr. Mehta, who has more than 40 years of experience in the financial sector. And I would like to ask him, because I just gave you a long list of bad work ethics. And I felt that out of those, the last few, like falsifying information, illegal practices, or even making a decision for your own personal gain, not keeping the company in mind. And I have heard that there is this code of work ethics for financial professionals. So what is this code, and would it be an answer to all these bad work ethics?
Most certainly it would be an answer. And I would say that ultimately, more than the code, it's your own moral values and ethics that apply. Correct. And that code is actually a document that captures these basic principles of human behavior. Right. You can't divorce work ethics from personal ethics. Right. So if you have high values and ethics in your personal life, it will automatically spill over to the work life, and vice versa. Similarly, if you have bad ethics, they also intermingle between personal and official. So examples: falsifying information, not working in the interest of the customer. Yes. Fiduciary ethics, where you take money for a bribe or something. Right. See, the financial services sector, housing finance or anything else, has money as its raw material, as
Yes.
its work in progress, and as its finished good.
Yeah.
Unlike a factory where you put out a car, for example.
Right.
You're dealing with money and you're dealing with humans. Now, this is a very potent and explosive combination.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
It's very easy to get tempted, and more importantly, it's very easy in the spur of a moment to take a decision which you are going to regret because it goes against your core ethics and your values.
Right.
Taking decisions which benefit you, for example, and that's one of the points you talked about.
Yes.
It's very easy to kind of recommend a larger loan because the customer is going to compensate you in some way, and that compromises the risk that the organization is taking.
Okay.
Taking bribes, putting it up front,
Right.
completely unacceptable.
Right.
But there is another value system which is important, being honest to your job.
Yes.
And I think that is important. If you take a job as a job, it will remain a job.
Okay.
Right? You need to believe that this is yours. And even if you're an employee or whether you're an owner or whatever, do what you would do if it was yours.
Right.
Because you're dealing with people's money.
Yeah.
People have put money into your bank and or the HFC, and you're using that money to make loans.
Right.
So I think there is a code of professionalism. For finance professionals, it encapsulates everything you've talked about.
Right.
But at one level, it says nothing because unless you believe in them,
Yes.
it's not going to come out. And if you believe in them, you don't need a code.
Right.
So if you have a code of ethics and yourself, you don't need a document.
Right.
The moment you need a document means you are failing in applying your own values and your own ethics. And I think that, being honest to yourself, being honest to your job, being honest to the client, being honest to all the stakeholders who are involved in this is what ethics is all about.
Right.
It's a very easily abused word.
Yes.
Because it speaks a lot. It says very high values and systems, but ultimately it's a very granular word also. It's what you do inside.
Right. Yeah. So thank you so much for that input.
My pleasure.